evening, everybody. I'm Dr. Alpana Avasti. I'll be taking a next lecture in the series for you. That is very important and a very crucial topic which every surgeon should be, familiar with, obviously. So it is the topic is surgical complications. Now, I would just deal with the complication in and out, whether it is related to surgery, anesthesia, everything which revolves around the surgical aspect. So first, there is a little bit thought process, philosophical side. Reality doesn't bite, rather our perception of reality bites, because sometimes it is very difficult for even anybody, not only a surgeon or an anesthetist, to accept the complication has happened. So we have to face the reality. We have to accept the complications first, and then only we go ahead. So the more it is, so I do not want to underline that you have to make complications, or the complications can happen. It can happen to anybody, any person, anytime, anywhere in the world. But you should know how to deal with it. And if you know how to deal with it, then you can be the bestest of the best person in the team and lead to a successful surgery recovery and give a good health to your patient. So now I just start. What is a surgical complication? First of all, I will tell you a basic definition. Everybody, all the surgical people know what's a complication, but how do you define it? That's a very important thing. Now, for example, a simple in this figure, if you can see a small soakage over the dressing, can lead to a big complication, so it can just define that. It might be a small soakage, but beneath the iceberg, this might be the tip of the iceberg, but beneath it, it might be a big hematoma or any active bleeding going on. So, it is like that. So a complication can be anything. So first of all, what is surgery? So surgery is a medical specialty that uses manual and instrumental techniques, which help to deal with the pathological conditions like trauma, any disease, injury, malignancy, to alter the bodily functions in order to reconstruct or improve the aesthetics and appearance. So that is what a surgery field is. Now, what is a complication? A complication is a disease or a problem that arises in addition to the initial condition. For example, a patient is being operated for a hernia surgery. So already a patient is having a pathological condition, that is a hernia. On top of that, if there is some bleeding or some soakage with post-surgery for that patient, then this is a problem which is in addition. You are giving the patient a problem which is in addition to a problem which the patient has. You are giving, it happens. It is not like anybody wants it to happen. Anybody is inclined to it happen. But if it happens, then it is in addition to the initial condition. For example, in this picture, you can see there is a bile soakage over the dressing of the wound. And if you can see the picture on the right, the drain which has been placed in the patient's abdomen, you can see the small aperture of the drain is out. So that is a complication. The drain has come out. It's a minor complication, but it is a complication, okay? So now we're going to see how we deal with it. So basically now there are many differences. There are many varieties of types of complications depending upon many things. But I would like to, every 1 or 2, 3 slides what will follow, that will tell you the complications in many arena, many phases basically. Okay. So first of all, what leads to complications? What is a complication which can happen, or what can be related to that complication? See, first of all, which type of surgery can lead to a complication? So any surgery, even a small cyst removal, even a small lipoma, anything can lead to a complication. It is not like that only major or supra-major surgeries can lead to complications. So any type of surgery, patient's pre-existing, this is a very important point, patient's pre-existing comorbid state. Patient if is having a history of multiple comorbidities like diabetes, blood pressure, IHD, CKD, any other, or even if the patient does not have, but if they have a more pre-existing comorbid state, they are more prone for having a complication. For example, a patient who is a liver disease, a chronic liver disease problem, if the liver enzymes are high, then the general anesthesia which is being given to the patient, first of all, they will analyze whether to give or not. Then general anesthesia, all the drugs which are given, which can be hepato, it can lead to, we can affect the liver, or they have a excretion through the liver, can lead to a worsening of a condition. The patient can land up into a more worsening of the liver tissue. That's why it is to be weighed. Perioperative management. How do you manage your patient? For example, if you are going ahead with a hysterectomy for a patient, if the patient's hemoglobin is 4 or 5, if the patient is passing PV bleed, there is a per vaginal bleed. So you have to first optimize the patient. If a patient before the surgery is having a COPD, is having persistent cough, we are operating for a hernia surgery. You have to optimize the patient. You have to involve a chest physician. So perioperative management, very important. Otherwise, post-operative, this patient will definitely have complication. So you have to prevent the complications by doing a perioperative management, a perioperative assessment and optimization in case of an elective surgeries. If it is a emergency surgery, then you have to first, very important, you have to save the life of the patient. But if it's an elective surgery, you have to perioperatively optimize the patient. Morbidity, mortality, suffering. So any complication can give rise to a further morbidity if the patient is already having a morbidity. Can also increase the chances of mortality. If there is a very life-threatening complication, it can also lead to mortality. Or it can suffering in the form the patient can have disability, deformity, leading to a further hamperment of the quality of his life. Longer hospital stays, any complication, it happens. If it is managed within the post-operative period, well, fair enough. But if not, then the patient can have longer hospital stays, which the last point can increase to the cost of the patient, can increase to the cost in general for the patient, for the hospital management in case of the consumables, all the drugs which the patient is being used. So everything can increase to the cost. So next we come to the classification. Now see, this is a classification. Now see, sometimes we have to be theoretical, sometimes we have to be practical. In the theoretical classification, if you go to see, Clavian-Dindo has given a very good classification. It ranks the severity of a surgical complication. It is based on the type of therapy needed to correct the complication. Basically, now this classification tells that the complication has now happened. Now, how do we deal upon the severity of the complication? That is what is given in this complication. So there are scales which are grade 1, grade 2, there is grade 3A, grade 3B, grade 4A, 4B, and grade 5. So now let us see how this complication is divided. So any deviation from the normal post-operative course without the need for any pharmacological product, any surgical, any endoscopic and radiological interventions is grade 1. Here we just use antiemetics. For example, post-operative nausea, vomiting, you can deal with antiemetics, any fever, small 199 antipyretics. Pain, obviously, we monitor it in the recovery only. That is grade 1. Grade 2 is requiring pharmacological treatment with drugs other than allowed for grade 1 complication like blood transfusion. For example, post-operative, intraoperative, there is a loss of blood. Patient was very oozy. So then you have to give blood transfusion to the patient. Or even if there is no complication, you are expecting a patient who is to be fasting for 2-3 days, then you can start total parenteral nutrition. So that can be grade 2. Grade 3 is requiring surgical, endoscopic or radiological intervention. For example, grade 3A intervention not under general anesthesia, grade 3B intervention under general anesthesia. For example, any hematoma or patient is having any internal bleeding, which you have seen the patient's BP is dropping, you need to take the patient in the OT and then under anesthesia, you have to drain or you have to clip the blood vessel or you have to coagulate. For example, in cardiac surgeries, in liver surgeries, it can happen. Not requiring anesthesia 3A, where there is a small bleed, you can open the wound bedside and then you can